The Plotcast Podcast with the Potty Plotters.
Well, here we are.
Yes.
Now, before we even get started, I'm looking straight through the greenhouse, Julia.
Yes.
And I can see where somebody, it looks either like Gerry or Chris,
Yeah.
38 or 37, have pulled up their sweet corn, and look at the blooming magpies on there.
Well, I think that's basically what stripped Gerry's sweet corn in the first place.
Is that what we call a barrow of corn?
Yeah. Was.
Yeah.
Anyway, hello everybody who might be listening, probably wondering what on earth we're all about. We're the Potty Plotters Plotcast podcast, aren't we?
We are.
And today we are recording outside.
Yes.
Beginning of October, but nevertheless,
We're
it's
persevering.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, with most things in life.
Yeah.
And season 2, number 35.
Well done. And who are you?
At times I ask myself, Julia. I'm Elaine.
And I'm Julia, because
And,
you've just reminded me, thank
Yeah,
you.
that's all right. Did you want a badge? I can do name badges.
Blue Peter.
Got some stickers over there.
Yeah.
Oh, stickers. We can do stickers, Gareth.
I've got a roll of sticky tape
Oh.
that you can write on.
Oh, now then.
Yeah, we might get to that point when we need to remind ourselves. But this is Gareth, and Gareth is our producer, and he's very good at giving the contact details out, and we are not. So Gareth has been given that role.
Okay, so we're on episode 35. So if you've got any questions, get them in quick, because we've only got we've only got another few episodes before
Well,
we
he
finish in
counted
this.
those on his fingers.
I did. I haven't got the abacus out yet. So we've only got another few episodes left of this season, so we're going to finish on episode 40. So get your questions in quick. So get them in on Facebook, Instagram and X at Potty Plotters. You can email us naughtycorner at pottyplotters.uk or check out the website pottyplotters.uk. And if you'd like to pay for the heating, because it's gone cold because it's October, then you can leave us a tip at kofi.com/thepottyplotters. That's ko-fi.com/thepottyplotters.
The Plotcast Podcast with the Potty Plotters.
Gareth, more speaking parts for you. You did send us a photograph of poached pears.
I did. So let's get some updates from last week. So last week you gave us some pears,
Yes.
which you told us how to poach them. So we did it, and we tried them. And the other half who's not here this week, nothing to do with the poached pears, she's at work, tried something she hadn't tried before, which was poached pears. I mean, I haven't tried poached pears, I tried non-poached ones. I wasn't keen, because I think pears are one of those things where you have to have the right variety to eat them raw. But poached them in some cheap white wine, and we had some ice cream with them. So let's evaluate. I think it possibly needed something like some cinnamon in, just to sort of sweeten it up a little bit.
You could have put more sugar in. Did you put any sugar in?
I did put some sugar in, but I think it was the pear itself that kind of needed to absorb something else.
could have done them in
Blame my pears.
No,
we
blame
go.
me.
Full blown domestic.
I've not had any complaints. Honestly, there's been queues of people coming to get the pears off the tree, because this year I've had a fantastic crop of pears off the tree, and that's what I found with that pear tree. Every
There's
other
a partridge in it.
No.
Not yet.
Although I went away the last couple of days, and there was 2 turtle doves on the windowsill. I don't know what that means. Does it mean Christmas is coming? I don't know, but they were very nice to sit and look
only
at.
October.
However, back to my pear tree, I found that every other year I have a really decent crop. The year when we have an off year, I only have 1 or 2, and then the on year, I have loads.
I know it feels.
And they're fantastic. They're a really big variety. They're not a conference variety. They're not a long variety.
Oh, are they William, but massive?
Yeah.
What you could have done is put them in masala wine, so it's a sweeter wine, so that impregnates then into the pear.
I mean, we've spoken off air about what's happened this week, so it was me just dashing around the supermarket trying to find a bottle of white wine that wasn't going to break the bank, so maybe I didn't pick the right one. And
dessert wine is what you needed.
Maybe I picked the one where you'd probably see people wrapping it up in brown paper and drinking it on the park bench. So it was really, really dirt cheap. So maybe that's something to play into it. But I think it possibly needed some form of flavouring around it. Other than that, success. It worked. It wasn't one where we went, they can't cook those. So I did cook them for long enough. So
did you cut them in half?
Yes, I did, and I peeled them.
Done.
And I took the middle out.
Blooming hair, a man who listens. There you go.
So well done to me. And the second update, garlic's in.
Oh,
in what?
It's in tubs, which is 50% compost, 50% sand.
Okay, and where have you had the garlic bulb from?
I bought it from the supermarket.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sometime-
35p, something like that.
Roughly that. Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Did you use all of the garlic bulb?
No, I think I put about 6 cloves in. So I did 2 tubs with about 3 in each to give it room to expand and grow.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well
Oh, we like that. Yes.
It's quite a shock, isn't it?
Well, I've actually listened to
Gareth
something.
listened.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, we can do another quick update on. So remember the carrots that I've done in similar to conditions to the garlic. So I did one set on election week. So we're going back to July.
July.
And I did another one in August. The July ones look like carrots. Look like they're starting to potentially develop carrots. The August ones may get binned. Because there's nothing there. There's I mean, where are we now? We're in October, so we're 2 months ago.
2 months.
They're literally about that much above.
I'd give them, I'd leave them.
Yeah.
If they're not
Whereas the
harming.
ones from the month previously, this tall.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, leave them.
And you can guess how tall that is.
Don't tell people. Don't tell people.
I'm not telling
But
people.
they're massive. Oh, well, that reminds me, we've had a message in as well. In fact, it's from Mandy.
Oh, yes.
Mandy Hatton. Now, what's funny is that she was listening to our last podcast and that made her titter, and she'd had withdrawal symptoms because she's had to go back to work and all that.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, she's been up the allotment, and to say that she's had a clump of carrots in one is the understatement of the year. It is like one massive carrot. So we've gone through with therapy, obviously, as to what went wrong, what can be improved. And then yesterday she sent another one to say, that's not all. Look at my pumpkins. And unfortunately, pumpkins have become detached from the plants and they're still green and a bit of orange, but she's gutted because she wanted them for her grandson. So what should she do? So I've suggested it, but she's already done it, which is pick them up, take them off the floor, put them into the greenhouse, and then they should set. Their skin should set,
they will
and they
ripen.
should turn.
They will.
So it was following more speaking parts for me. It was following my conversation with Mandy for National Allotment Week that we were talking about pumpkins, and because of where we are in the season, it's beginning of October, so Halloween's 3-4 weeks away. Get your pictures of your pumpkins in. So send us your pictures of your pumpkins for the Halloween. It doesn't.
How are your little dumplings doing anyway?
Lovely. Shall we
about your
talk about
pumpkins?
them next week?
Yeah, all right then.
I've put them on the list for next week.
Okay,
I have to list everything because I forget. That's the trouble.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll show you. They are rather nice. Not as many as I anticipated, though.
Oh, well, it's been one of those years.
Yeah, let's put it down to that.
Contact the Potty Plotters anytime on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at Potty Plotters, or email naughtycorner@pottyplotters.uk.
So the first thing I wanted to talk about, it's all about me actually now.
Yeah, what?
Seeds.
Yeah.
Now then, I know that we've joked about it before, Julia, but where do you put your seeds? So if you've, like you have, I mean, we haven't told people about that, have we, on air?
What?
About what we've done about saving our divorces.
Yes,
we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I said I was amazed that you hadn't used my address.
Well, actually, we can.
Yeah.
Well, we should.
Yeah, that's for the bigger things, though. We'll have bigger things delivered.
To Gareth.
Gareth's house,
Okay,
yeah.
well, we'll do that.
Okay.
But it is worth, at the moment, there's so many seed sales on.
Yeah.
It's just amazing, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's so exciting. And I can't help but go through them all. So, I have had a box arrive, which I've put down to you, because I put your name on it.
Thank you.
That's okay. And I've put it in the spare bedroom. I've taken the seeds out and put it into a gift bag, a recycled gift bag, and then put them into the wardrobe. So they're in the dark, they're in the cool, and they're in amongst a few clothes.
Perfect. And your gin, because you keep your gin in the shed,
Gin is in
the
there,
wardrobe.
but it'll be coming out soon when we get out and about doing talks. You know what they're all like.
Alcoholics.
Yeah, well, the thing is that they sit and drink it, Gareth, and we sound a lot better. So, it's a win-win.
You know how you said last week or the week before that your husbands don't listen to this?
No.
Yeah.
Do they know anybody that actually does?
No.
Oh, well, that's a saving grace then.
I mean, I'll just give you a little tip that I've just done. So we are obviously on site. My husband is doing the allotment shop today, and through the shop they are taking our King's seed orders. So I just took him a cup of coffee down and gave him my seed order and went, just pop that through the shop. I didn't pay. That's really clever, isn't it? But what I want to say is, if you are on an allotment site, find out whether your site are members of the National Allotment Society, because of course with being members of the National Allotment Society we do get King's seeds, and the seeds are actually 40% cheaper than in their main catalogue, which works out at a really good savings. So
It means you can buy 40% more seeds.
Hey, do you want any, Gareth?
Probably.
We'll get through the catalogue again then.
That's it.
Put it through my husband while he's on the shop. But so a lot of people don't realise that, I think. And there are other schemes available for. So we went to a gardening club, didn't we? And they have a scheme running, and it's through Sutton's for groups where you get a bigger discount. So it is worth it if you are a member of such things, having a look at whether you can get any discounts, because seeds do work out quite expensive. And although we save quite a few of our seeds, we also like to have a look at new seeds every year, don't we?
Yeah, a nice supply. So that's where I keep mine anyway, in the wardrobe, in the dark, in the spare room.
Okay.
Sounds a bit like Cluedo.
Yeah.
Julia,
Sounds a bit like
where
Christmas.
do you keep your seeds? This could be a new competition,
Yeah.
new game at Christmas, couldn't it?
Well, in the shed, or Potty Plotters HQ summer house, I've actually got one of them old 1950s kind of cabinet things that you used to have in your kitchen.
Oh, right, cupboard thing.
And
Before built-in kitchens.
Right.
And I've actually popped mine in there because I shouldn't get frost in there because it's quite well insulated.
It's off the floor as well,
It's
isn't
off
it?
the floor, it's in the dark, and that's where I'm keeping mine, so that I've got them handy for when I come to plant, and I shall be starting to plant very soon. And also, talking about planting very soon, I've ordered loads of ranunculus claws because again we're going flower mad. And
Ranunculus claws, is that like Santa Claus? What are you on about?
so ranunculus,
You okay, love?
yeah.
It's been a long day.
So when we talk about seeds for things, we also talk about tubers for dahlias. So ranunculus are beautiful flowers, but when you get them delivered, they actually come and they look like a hand. They look like a claw hand. And so you call them claws, and that's how you plant them. You plant them with the claw facing down. And what you have to do is soak them. So I've got them up here as well, so that I'll be planting them now, so that next year hopefully I have bigger plants and longer, stronger stems.
And with ranunculus, do you take them out every year, or what do you do with them?
I will be taking them out every year. You could leave them in if you wanted to, depending on your conditions, but generally in this country, I would think that you would need to lift them. But of course, like any bulb really, they also spread, so when you lift them you actually get more of them. But I was a bit of a novice this year, and I think I damaged quite a few when I got them out, so of course another excuse, get some new ones.
So Elaine, I mean, you're talking about saving seeds, and on here you've got freezer, and I'm confused.
Yeah, but I probably am as well, actually.
Yeah,
right. The reason that I've included it is because when we went to Chatsworth to do a
Posh.
talk, yes, very.
You have to dress up for it.
No, we
we
didn't.
know.
We don't know how to. We don't do all that now.
No.
But there was this lovely gentleman, and he said his hint and tip for us was all about, you know, when you go to hotels and you get those little free sort of jam jars, well, jams and honey and
Ketchup.
Yeah.
Never
been anywhere with ketchup.
A certain well-known brand puts its sauces for catering in those little condiment jars.
Oh, really?
Never been there. The only places I've been, they've been in them plastic packets. I was to go to somewhere that's not as posh as Gareth. But
No. Well, this gentleman said that what he does is then he takes them home, washes them out,
yes.
and then when they're dry, he saves his seeds in the jars and puts them in the freezer.
Oh.
And I thought, well, that will be a surefire way of getting a divorce, isn't it?
I was going to say
because I
surefire
am
way of
taking
killing your
over the
husband,
world.
yeah.
I can imagine his.
yeah.
I can imagine his face opening the freezer to
Oh,
loads of these and going, "Oh
yeah,
God, what's he
now
done
what?
now?"
The one
Exactly.
place it was safe was the freezer, and now she's what? So why would you do that, Elaine?
Well, because he said so.
All right, okay. So the
Is it stratification?
that is the
That's
word.
the
Yeah,
name of the
no, I
game.
did say that to you off air before
Yes,
this,
you did.
and
Yeah.
you were like,
showing off. Well, you were, weren't you?
And now you're-
Don't you mean? She said. Don't you mean stratification?
yeah. So basically, he's putting the seeds into a period of dormancy. While
Well,
they're-
you mean you would be if you put it in the freezer?
Yeah. So it's basically tricking the seeds into thinking it's winter. So they go, go to sleep.
No,
and then when you
I'm thinking now.
Yeah.
Oh, I dread to think.
I'm actually thinking, what if he accidentally takes them out the freezer and thinks they're something else and uses them in cooking?
Yeah, not good if there were
No.
sweet peas, for instance.
No, they
'cause
can be-
they're poor. Well,
Yeah.
they give you a runny tummy, won't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to label them.
Yeah, you would have to label them properly, but that's why he's doing it, so that when he brings them out and plants them, they almost like wake up quite quickly and say, spring
Warm.
has
And
sprung.
start to grow.
And start to grow. And actually, quite a few of the flowers seeds that I've had in the post, they will suggest that the seeds have a period of stratification. So you put them in the fridge or the freezer for a couple of weeks, or if they don't seem to get going, you move them to a cooler place and then put them out again and move them to a cooler place again. So, it's just a way of, I suppose, waking things
Shocking
up.
them.
Yes, shocking things into growing. But while we were just talking hotels, that just reminded me, I did go away for a couple of days. I've mentioned that earlier. But I did bring you a present back. I haven't got it with me.
Is it a jar of jam?
No, it's Elaine's favourite present from when you go to a posh hotel.
right.
Shower cap.
I got her a shower cap. She loves the shower caps. Now, tell
do.
everybody why you like the shower caps.
Well, and particularly at this time of year, Julia,
perfect.
well done. Did you just get the one?
I only had one in the room.
For goodness sake.
No,
If
they
you
only
take
give,
it out.
yeah, they only give one away now.
No.
They don't stock these things up.
I know, like, test
Really?
for more milk and everything. They don't give you loads of milk.
crikey.
Yeah.
What
Oh
is
no, that
happening?
annoys me. You know when you get those little sachets of milk and you open it and half of it goes everywhere at the same time.
No,
That's not
no.
good.
So,
Right, well, shower caps at this time of year I love and I do start to collect them, and simply because when you plant your spring bulbs, so there's two reasons. Plant your spring bulbs and put your shower cap over the top of the plant pot.
Oh, yeah.
And that will stop the squirrels getting
right,
in. That's
okay.
the first thing, because it will deflect
So
them.
will a gun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Brutal. And also it will keep the warmth in, so it generates that warmth, and that's what I do. I've just been clearing out the greenhouse first thing this morning, ready for the onslaught of spring bulbs, and that's what I'm going to do.
yeah.
But it works as well if you're going to use seeds
Yes,
too.
yes.
So when you're planting your seeds, just literally cover the top of the plant pot with your shower cap.
Yeah.
Keeps that warmth in.
yeah, so you're making a mini greenhouse basically out of them. So, yes, I did bring you one back, but I've not got it with me, but I have bought you one.
Okay.
Hotels, that's what got me thinking about that.
Stolen property. That's okay. I
No,
don't
I paid
mind
for it.
that. Oh yeah, all right.
Comes as part of the room rate.
Yeah.
Elaine's shower cap, it's there on the inventory.
Hints and tips for shortcuts to success. The Potty Plotters Plotcast.
Right then, and the next thing is, which is a nice link actually, is sweet peas.
Yes.
I've mentioned them, but yesterday I started taking the everlasting sweet peas down. Now then.
Hang on, that kind of defies them being everlasting.
Yeah,
surely.
I know, but it's this time of year that they start to die back and they start to go yellow at the bottom, as do the annual sweet peas. The difference being the annual sweet peas I take completely out as a plant.
Yeah.
Now, Julie, I can look over to your shoulder and I can see that you've got some still growing in a tub.
No, they're not growing, they're dead, Elaine. They're well
right.
dead.
I was being kind.
And the
Complete
thing
polar
is-
opposite to the
Yeah.
word grow.
So I have taken the pods off those already, but the plants themselves I've just not got round to taking out of the plant pot. So I'll take them out of the plant pot, and again I'll make use of the compost that they've been planted in, and I'm going to put them on the no-dig beds, the compost, just so that it doesn't go
But
to
you
waste.
take the whole plant, all of the
Absolutely.
plants
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
and what will you do with those?
They will go in the compost bin because they've got no seeds now on them,
Yeah.
and because they're dried they'll act almost like a brown in the bin, so perfect.
Whereas the everlasting sweet peas, most of them are still green.
Okay.
So what I've been doing is I've been taking off the dried seed pods off there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a huge gift bag full of them.
Oh.
And
put them in your
they're
car.
podding. Yeah, no, but I have been podding them. But what you do with these, though, Gareth, is you can cut them down, but leave them and they just naturally die back. Like Julia's has there, but they naturally die back. And then all I do is I literally put my hand in and grab them, all of the plants, and then get rid of the old plants. And the good thing is that then you don't have to do anything and they'll come back next year.
Oh, good.
Yeah, easy peasy. Do you want some?
Yes, please.
There you
Yes,
go.
peas.
Yeah, and they just need some support, that's all. But
Don't we all?
definitely, yeah.
After this week, we've all needed some
In
support.
a bad week. So, yeah, I just thought we'd remind people to leave the everlasting sweet peas, but to take out the annual sweet peas.
Yeah, save yourself a fortune for next year.
If you'd like to support the podcast, you can leave us a tip at ko-fi.com/thepottyplotters. That's ko-fi.com/thepottyplotters. And we'll love you forever.
Right, and spring bulbs, Elaine. Well, it seems funny that we're already talking about spring, but actually I think
It's October. How are we doing this?
Yeah, but we've already been talking about next year since about June, haven't we? Because it's like, next year.
Next year will be so much better.
Next year we'll do this, we'll do that. And already now we're talking spring bulbs, so that's something to look forward to.
It is, and I've already been to the garden centre.
Yeah.
I thought I'd have a little look round, but...
Any bargains?
Yeah. Buy 50, get 50 free.
Buy 50 and get 50.
Yeah, just do them anyway. I loved it.
So what have you bought?
Loads. I've got carrier bags full in the shed at the
Good
moment.
Lord. What have you got then?
I've got hyacinths, muscari.
Oh, yes.
Which are grape hyacinths, the little ones. I've got some crocus, iris as well. I've got some tay-to-tay, which I really do like, which are the little daffodils, narcissus.
Yeah.
I've got those, and I got tulips as well, black knights, and I got some white ones. What were they called? Can't remember. So it's fair to say I did get a very lot.
Right.
But I'd had gift vouchers in the past, so I thought now's the time to use them. So I could have waited for some bargains, more bargains, but thought, no, I'm going to get them while they're here with all the array of colours. But I thought we would talk a little bit about hyacinths in particular, because there are indoor types and outdoor types. Did you know?
How can you tell the difference?
There's a label on them. That's it.
What if they've muddled the labels up?
Well, that will be a problem. But I never realised that there are two different varieties, but they're indoor and outdoor.
Okay.
And the indoor have had that shock treatment.
Okay.
And so they're ready to go. But now is the time to be planting them up if you want them for Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's dead easy to do because you literally are planting them in a pot of multi-purpose compost, and just make sure that you cover up to and across their shoulders, and then put them somewhere cool.
Right.
They don't need to be in the warmth. Water them and then leave them. And honestly, it's amazing. I do it every year, and every year I get them round about Christmas time.
When you water
never
them,
say-
do you do it from the bottom, or are you watering
bottom,
Okay.
always the bottom. Now then, of course, you do see things, don't you, that remind you of your childhood, and one was jam jar. Now then, Julia, this week, while you've been dossing about in your hotel, I have actually been scrambling around looking for more jam jars, of which I have now washed, steamed in the dishwasher, and they are good to go. And then I thought, I tell you what, this is what we should be doing more of, putting water into a jam jar and putting a hyacinth bulb on the top. And it reminded me of when I was little, because if you do that and the water is just touching the base of the bulb, you can then watch the bulb grow.
Can you?
Well, I can, yeah.
So you need to be careful.
Nothing on the telly this week.
No.
So you need to be careful when you selecting your hyacinth that actually it's not going to fall into the jam jar.
Yeah,
because
it's
that
just
wouldn't
going to
work
sit.
very well.
That's called floating. No. So you just sit it on the top. And I just thought, no, we ought to do that because they'd look quite nice, wouldn't they, in the house?
Yes.
And if you've got children, it's fascinating to watch how fast the roots take hold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're looking at me like I'm daft.
Well, no, you are, but also thinking about all the bulbs that you said you've been
those.
buying.
Yeah.
I was thinking now, are they going directly in the plot, or are you going to do... It sounded like you were getting some for some lasagna planting.
I am doing lasagna planting.
Yeah, you don't eat them, Gareth. It's not like it's not edible.
Up then. Did you notice? Food. Food is the food to be had. Yes.
I think they could grow lasagna.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you are.
And tell the Italians.
I'm going to do lasagna. I've already got my pots ready.
Yes.
So I'm going to do a few pots, but I thought that would look rather nice, particularly if they're sitting in the greenhouse for a few weeks with a shower cap on the top. So how do we do lasagna planting?
So basically, it's all the different bulbs that you've got. You plant them at the depth that they require. So, of course, normally we work to twice the depth of the bulb or the seed. But in doing it, you're layering them at different heights. And so different plants will come out at different times and they'll all merge together. But they'll make a lovely mixed display of all of those flowers.
Bulbs.
Yeah, perfect.
And they do look really nice, actually. So we are going to do it with the hyacinths, with the tulips, with everything, Gareth.
Oh.
And if you want, you could do one with us.
Oh, okay.
That's a treat, isn't
Oh.
it? Didn't sound very.
When are you doing that? Are you doing that next week with him?
Shall we?
Oh, why not?
Do you want to?
Shall I bring the camera along and film it?
Oh, all right then, and then we can show people how to do it.
Yeah.
All right, that's on.
The Plotcast podcast with the Potty Plotters.
I wanted to talk a bit about chili plants.
Did you?
Yeah, well, I did titter actually the other day because Steve, what number is he? Is he plot 6?
He's 6, yeah.
6.
Steve, plot
Yeah.
6 with his tools.
Yes.
That's him, yeah. Well, I went across. He said, "Oh, come with me and have a look at what I've got in the greenhouse." So I went across. Have you been in?
No.
Oh, right. Well, he's been growing lots of peppers.
Yes.
The long sweet peppers, and he's grown the bell peppers.
You're getting attacked here by a
yes,
fly.
I know. It's annoying. But also, he said, "What about this one? That pepper, let me tell you, is not. It's a chili.
Oh, right.
And it looks like a Scotch bonnet."
Ooh.
Now then. It's absolutely magnificent. In fact, Gareth, we
Is it
will take a
award-winning?
photograph. Yes, it certainly would be. It's beautiful. There's not a yellow leaf on it, and he's grown it late on in the greenhouse. Honestly, it looks fantastic. Now then, I did then start to mumble to him about how he could keep that going until next year.
Yeah.
Because chili plants, for those of you who didn't know, are actually perennials. They don't need to be reinstated
That fly
every
loves
year.
chili.
Yeah, I know. I don't say as I blame him, really. But what I was going to do was to teach him how to keep it going until next year.
If chili plants are perennial, are peppers as well,
Yeah.
because they're in the same family, aren't they?
I've tried to keep them both before with no success whatsoever because I've kept them in the wrong place.
I was going to say, and you're going to teach him and you've had
Well,
no
we've
success.
learned from it, Julia. And he'll do
He'll
the
learn.
same, yeah. But where I went wrong was I kept them, I cut them back, and then I put them in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
And of course it was perishing.
Yeah.
And what I needed to do was move them into the house.
Yeah, you needed to
Not in the wardrobe, Julia. No.
You needed to put them in your conservatory
I did,
somewhere, didn't
yeah.
you? So when you say the perennials and you're going to teach him how to keep them, what you do is basically you strip all the leaves off, you cut it back down to...
Well, it's finished fruiting because it's still in full throttle, this is.
And cut it down to some almost like stems off the base, so a couple of inches above the base.
Yeah.
And then you stop him watering it, aren't you? And you're giving it only just enough water to keep it alive.
Yeah.
So, probably, even once a month, maybe?
Probably, yeah.
And then that hopefully should then be able to restart again in spring when you reintroduce it into the warmer conditions.
That's right. Yeah, it'll be warm, but it's also watering it as well. So we'll start to look after it and give it a feed, and off we go. And I just thought it's worth it because it is such a lovely plant.
Yeah.
It's a shame not to do that with that one.
So you're going to do this experiment with him, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll be reporting back the results.
I will. He's gone on holiday for a fortnight.
Again?
He has.
no.
Never at home. Yeah.
I know.
Can you just water again?
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I'll do
that's
that.
it. So when we have an allotment, most of the time we always say to people, that's it. Summer holidays, you're not allowed them now.
Yeah.
Unless you're called Steve.
Unless
Yeah.
you're called Steve and you've got friends who will water on a regular basis. I mean, I only went away for one night and I was like itching to get back to my plot thinking, well, you know, what's going to happen?
Eric and Jackie have gone as well,
I
haven't they?
know.
Who else?
Don't know, but...
It seems to have been going on
Well, I
holiday.
think this year probably everybody's just gone, I've given up for the year. But generally we do say to people, it is hard to go on holiday when you've got an allotment because A, you've got to find someone to water, but also you've got to find someone who's going to harvest on a regular basis. Otherwise, again, if things aren't picked, then the plants start to go into right, I've now got to set the seeds and start to do that, and then they slow down, so you could lose your plants as well. So don't go on holiday.
Contact the Potty Plotters anytime on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at Potty Plotters or email naughtycorner@pottyplotters.uk.
Now then, winter planting, Julia.
Yes.
Have you ever done any?
I have, and I've not had great successes with it. Well, when I say I've not had great successes, actually on this site I've not had great successes. When I was on my other site, I did overwinter broad beans, and they were fine, to be honest. They were absolutely fine. But on this site, I probably wouldn't bother.
So when we say overwinter, what do we mean?
So there are certain varieties that you can plant now in
So it's got to be a variety specific
Absolutely.
to put up with the cold conditions,
Yeah.
not just
Any
any old
old
bean or whatever.
A hardy variety.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I
And
can
so
see.
what that means is then they'll slow down over winter, but it won't kill them. But then they'll get going earlier in the season, and you'll have an earlier crop. And I did have good results when I was on my other site, but with this site I think because of the water problem that we've got, and also because of the ground frost that we tend to suffer, I've really not had much success. As with onion sets, I'd rather just wait until spring, to be honest with you. By the time you've kind of gone through all the trauma of all my onions have rotted, we've seen it on site, haven't we? We've seen people setting onions and things over winter, and really, what are you losing? You're losing your bulbs and everything. You might as well start in spring. But for those people listening, Elaine, who are on sites that don't have the problems we have, what can they be putting in?
Okay, well, you can do overwinter broad beans, as you've said, and yes, you are looking for the hardy variety, but look for them specific. And when I say that, have a look at the packets. Just keep looking at the packets, and it will tell you on there whether or not they're suitable for overwinter. And in fact, they're called autumn usually. But have a look for those. Now, I've done the broad beans, and I'm in your basket because when I've done them, they needed a huge amount of protection around the snow of
not
those
just
days.
a shower cap.
Oh no, honestly, Gareth.
The
it
full
was
dressing gown and slippers as well.
It was the full bifter, yes. So after I'd done that, I thought it's not worth it. I might as well have a month or two off instead.
Yes.
Prepare the ground ready for them to be planted early in the year. Don't bother. Now, I've done overwinter peas as well.
Oh, yes.
Oh, they were a nightmare because...
You don't even like peas.
No, I don't, but I do them for everybody else because that's the kind of girl I am. But what happened was you're feeding slugs because they haven't got anything, and you're feeding the birds.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't got such a wide variety of things to eat during the winter, so they desecrated them, even though I'd netted them. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
And the mice and rats, oh yeah, my word, they love them.
Yeah.
So it was a no. Now, I've done overwinter onions, and they have worked, but I would say instead put them into cell trays with a little bit of compost around them, multi-purpose compost, and let them set off that way and leave them until spring. It's much better. It is for us because of the weather conditions, but I do think we should have a bit of time off. As gardeners, allotmenteers, you're always up here. You can go on holiday. That would be funny, us three going together, wouldn't it?
We did once, well, we went away as three of us, didn't we? We went down to London Town.
Yeah.
To Chelsea.
Yeah. Gareth abandoned us.
You say abandoned?
Yeah, well, leave it at that then, shall we, Gareth? But what I'm saying is that there are plenty of varieties of things to plant out there, but it's for you to decide, are you having some time off, ready to be re-energised for spring, or are you going to carry on during the winter?
I mean, there are things that people will think about planting, I think, inside in polytunnels in greenhouses, like the winter salads. But I don't want salad in winter. I want a good hearty dinner.
You know, I could just eat something scrumptious.
Well, there's a timely reminder, isn't it?
Of recipes?
Yes.
Yes. OK then. Now then, you're going to be very shocked, Gareth, because I've been hunting for recipes already.
Have you?
So, yeah, we're going to be talking about recipes from off your allotment. What is it that you really love to cook or bake using things off your allotment? Actually, it can be included of drinks as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now then, I actually have been in touch with a group who we usually are in touch with around about September, Hedge Allotments in Derbyshire. Mm-hmm. And I told them all about what we were doing. And you know what? This morning, 2 recipe books have arrived.
Aww.
Yes, they have been doing theirs for Macmillan.
Oh, yeah.
So they've been selling their books, and I thought, I bet you there are other allotment sites out there who do exactly the same.
Yeah.
So if you do, let us know about them so that we can get them in. And they've included hints and tips as well off the allotments.
Oh, that's good.
I know, clever,
So if you've got a recipe, send it in to us. Probably better to email us. That's naughtycorner@pottyplotters.uk. And if you can leave your contact details on there, I will call you up and we'll talk about it, a bit like what we did with National Allotment Week, and that's in episode 39, which is our penultimate one, which is in 4 weeks' time.
Still using his fingers to count.
I'll get my toes out later.
Work that one out, 35, 39, but there you go.
Yeah, it's been one of those weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so get your recipes in and tell us what you use your glut of stuff for off your allotment. And especially if you've had to change what you've done this year because of what's gone on this year as well.
Yeah. And that's always worth bearing in mind. Yeah. So let's do it then. Well, anyway, thanks for listening. And next week, you know what we're going to be talking about. Oh. But I actually think we should have another shot at the weather.
When you say a shot,
the weatherman.
Another go talking about the weatherman. We're not shot him.
Don't shoot him.
That's not going to encourage him to come and talk to us, is it? If you're threatening him. But
they've got it wrong again this week, though.
Yeah, but what has gone wrong this year? Why has it been so bad? And well, I don't know. Can they actually, have they got a crystal ball? Can they tell us is next year going to be better?
I think they do.
I think I know the answer to that one already without the crystal ball, which is a big fat hairy no. But yeah, we can blame it on the weatherman again.
Yeah, like we do. And we're going to be talking about dahlias. Because, yeah, because I've said so. And tights. You can get your tights back out. And we're going to talk about some other things that you can do with them. And Julia, not so long ago, I met up with a friend. She's from Scotland and she listens to us. And I said, jokingly, you'll not believe there's a woman who we've been working with from Derby County Community Trust who says that she listens to us and we send her to sleep. And you know what my friend said? I do too.
Yeah. Okay.
What's that all about?
That's a bit rude.
That is a bit rude.
I don't know if they're going to be my friends for long.
The Plotcast Podcast with the Potty Plotters is an Amberland Media production.